Good morning, everybody. The Rev here. Time for a cup of coffee with Jesus. Thanks for tuning in this morning. I'm going to finish up the last chapter of Proverbs today. It's been 30 days, but today is chapter 31. It's a really good thing to read a chapter of Proverbs a day for 31 days. 10 days, 15 days. Just keep rotating them however you'll do them. But they're short reads, or relatively short reads, and they're packed full of wisdom and knowledge and life tools. The reason I could not do chapter 31 is because it's about the Proverbs 31 wife. And the heading in this one, the Passion Translation, calls her the radiant bride. The NASB calls it a description of a worthy woman. But I wanted to read it out of the Passion. And it's starting with verse 10, chapter 31. It says, "Who could ever find a wife like this one? She is a woman of strength and mighty valor. She's full of wealth and wisdom. The price paid for her was greater than many jewels. Her husband has entrusted his heart to her, and she brings him the rich spoils of victory. All throughout her life, she brings him what is good and not evil. She searches out continually to possess that which is pure and righteous. She delights in the work of her hands. She gives out revelation truth to feed others. She's like a trading ship bringing divine supplies from the merchant. Even in the night season, she arises and sets food on the table for hungry ones in her house and for others. She sets her heart upon the field and takes it as her own. She labors there to plant the living vines. She wraps herself in strength, might, and power of all her works. She tastes and experiences a better substance, and she is a shining light that will not be extinguished, no matter how dark the night. She stretches out her hand to help the needy, and she lays hold of the wheels of government. She is known by her extravagant generosity to the poor, and she's always searching out with her hands to those in need. She is not afraid of tribulation, for all her household is covered in the dual garments of righteousness and grace. Her clothing is beautifully knit together, a purple gown of exquisite linen. Her husband is famous and admired by all sitting as the venerable judge of the people, and she does for the benefit of her enemies. Bold power and generous majesty are wrapped around her as she laughs with joy over the latter days. Her teachings are filled with wisdom and kindness as loving instruction pours from her lips. She watches over the ways of the household and meets every need they have. Her sons and daughters arise in one accord to extol her virtues, and her husband arises to speak of her glowing terms. There are many valiant and noble ones, but you have ascended above them all. Charm cannot be misleading, and beauty in vain, as so quickly it fades. But the virtuous woman lives in a wonder, awe, and fear of the Lord. She will be praised throughout eternity. So go ahead and give her the credit that is due, and she has become a radiant woman. And all of her loving works of righteousness deserve to be admired at the gateways of every city." I love the Proverbs 31 wife because I'm married to a Proverb 31 wife. My wife, Michelle, puts everybody else above herself. She makes sure that our household runs well. She's the one that takes care of the animals almost every single morning. It's only when that she's ill or not feeling good or has something to do that I go out and take care of the animals. She takes care of the chickens and gathers the eggs. She's the one that buys wheat from the right places that hasn't been sprayed, and it's non-GMO wheat. Grinds her own wheat. She makes her own bread in the house. She is very diligent in the shopping to find good deals for our household to keep our household expenses down. She watches out over the bills of the home. It's like she reminds the kids, it's like, hey, you turn off those lights because that takes money out of our family's expenses. She explains things in a very good way that all our kids turn off all the lights. as power costs have gone up over the years, our power bills have pretty much stayed the same because she's very diligent and not running just an excessive amount of heat or air conditioning. It's not just about creature comforts, but it's about knowing the Lord and always expressing the Lord's will to be done above all else. She is a Proverbs 31 woman. I extol my wife. I lift her up in front of the presence of everybody to let her know, to let you guys know that she is an amazing woman. I can't do any of the things I can do. I can't run a second business. I can't do any of those things if I had not had a Proverbs 31 wife running the household. Women, this is a tall order to follow, but I'm telling you, you follow things like this, your man will want to do all the other chapters of Proverbs. I'm just telling you. The ones that want to make him to do the right things and to do these things are possible when you have a Proverbs 31 wife like that. So I lift up my wife Michelle before you and say she is a good and faithful servant, and that she's not meaning that she's serving me, but she's a servant of the Lord first and foremost. I'm just telling you, I have a beautiful wife. She's beautiful inside and out, especially to me. I value the things that she does. I value our household being run the way that it is. I value the way that she's homeschooled our kids because they are diligent in their schoolwork. When they went to college, they've been successful in college by the study habits that she taught them as children in our home. I'm just telling you, having a Proverbs 31 wife makes me want to be a better man. So that's really all I have for you today. These are the virtues. These are the things of a radiant bride. I have a radiant bride. She's amazing, but it's also the radiant bride that we should be for Christ. You guys have a good day today, thinking about a Proverbs 31 wife. And it's never to beat your wife up and say you need to be more of these things. It's when you are more of all the other chapters of Proverbs, she wants to fulfill this chapter. I promise you. You be the way and the truth and the life. When you have the way inside of you, guess what? They will submit to that. Because they never submit to they don't submit to you. They only submit to the Christ in you. There's little Christ, guess what? Little submission. More Christ, more submission. That's the way it works. It's never about you, always about Jesus. It's never about my wife. She's always made it about Jesus. But in her always making it about Jesus, guess what? She is a beautiful bride. And I love her dearly. She is amazing. So you guys today, value your Proverbs 31 wives. And not only on Valentine's Day. You value her all the days. I'll see you soon. Always remember, just like it says right here, Jesus loves you. I love you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Have a good day valuing your radiant bride, your virtuous woman. Honor her. Give her honor where honor's due, because you get to stand at the gates and people admire you when you have a wife that is one that's a sold out believer for Christ. See you tomorrow. I don't know what the Lord's going to bring tomorrow, but the last 31 days have been Proverbs. I'll see you soon. I love you guys. Goodbye.